need. Alright. This is Dr. Kenneth Sharpton Glasgow with It Is Raw than you ever saw before. Something that you can't ignore. Make you want to listen a little bit more. Because you never know what we have in store. Because I talked it over with Jesus. As I did. As I wait for my guests to get up in the studio. On this wild Wednesday morning. Bradley Bedwell will be in the building along with Kyle Scott, who used to run against him as his opponent, now they're best of friends. This is how you unify Dothan. And we have a lot of different wins that took place upon last night in the gubernatorial races in Virginia, in New Jersey. Not only do we have 2 women, but they are Democrat women as well. And we got those wins in New York. As Commissioner Bedwell comes in the building. How you doing, sir?
Where's the music at this
And we got, I just turned that music down, sir. And we got, man, Danny. Yeah, Kyle Scott on his way. All right. And we got man Danny, that Danny, that one up there in New York City. New York City. Yeah.
Where's New York City at?
So, yeah, it's way up there up north somewhere. In the north of the spectrum, hey man? So we're here this morning and we are glad to have you in the building with us. Let's turn on just a little bit of music for Commissioner Bedwell. So where's his music?
He gotta
get in the right mind, yeah.
How we gonna do those? You got an amazing grace.
Amazing Grace, yeah, we get some Amazing Grace up in here. We want to move it. Come closer.
Yes, we're gonna get it straight. You know we like to see it close.
Oh no, I'm gonna put y'all both in there.
Okay, well, you in there too. I want to see all of it. You remember the first time I come in there and you remember the first time I come in there, I sat right up on them. You like to be close. I like to be close.
Yeah, you was kind of.
Yeah, he was right here. I come in and put me in the chair.
It was awkward. It was a little bit awkward for me.
Hey, I'll let him know when he's running again. We're gonna be close. And
Real close.
real close.
Yeah, man. So
I love Wild Wednesday. I ain't coming home this winter.
we
I
went
ain't coming on Thursday. I ain't coming on Friday. I ain't coming on Monday. I ain't
Wild West.
coming on Tuesday. We like being close over here. And
I went to that school board meeting last night, man. They went to executive session and never came out. Never came out.
what was the meeting about? Must be special call.
It was. Because they didn't even come out of there.
What was it about?
Well, you know they had a big obsession about the charter schools and make classes.
So that's going to the state level. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand that. If you have the 4 votes and you don't want them, why don't you just cancel? You know, they got the vote.
I don't know, man. They going back and forth for that. So if you ask me.
I like it.
There you go right there. Yeah. Now you see everybody. You can see everybody now.
Oh, we can't turn into a wide view.
That's good right now.
I'm gonna slide or something, get you in there too.
I'm in there. I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna be right here.
Let's talk about this. Now I got a 2.5-year-old kid.
I want to keep it wrong if you push me out of that. Every morning, from Monday through Friday, from 8 to 9 a.m. Central Time. Listen, it is wrong.
Oh, we got water in here.
Amen. Yeah, let's get you some water up in this eye. I want y'all to listen now as we get ready getting ready right there in that refrigerator. Son, you should have some water in now. That's one thing about Bradley Bedwell. He don't come and sit down. He goes to work. He knows he's at home. This is his Wild Wednesday.
I won't come on Thursday. I won't come on Friday, Tuesday. No, we're gonna.
You want to come on Wild Wednesday?
I'm intentional and nothing else.
Listen. So tell me what is going on in the Wild Grass with Dothan, Alabama.
Well, tell us about this school board meeting. That's a good thing to start off with.
So the school board meeting last night, I'm gonna have to get a real good update on what did they end up doing, because they didn't do nothing. We sat there for a whole hour, me and Jimmy McCray, and Corbett was there, a few others was there, and nothing ever happened. They went to executive session and never came back out. I stayed there till about 7:15, then I said, no, I'm gone.
Well, I don't understand that. If you got the 4 votes and you don't want the charter school, why would you send it to the state anyway? You got control. And here, and I'm going to be a devil's advocate for a minute. And I'll talk to Ms. Walton about this. So she's coming in and she's feeling what the folks that are driving. She's got to build a bridge between them and the other side and try to break down those walls, because Scott and Miss Jenkins, they have been on this roller coaster ride that Miss Walton been on for the last 3 years.
You talking about Miss Guilford, Brenda Guilford?
No, I'm talking about District 6.
Oh, District 6.
Because, no, I'm just saying, they had 3 votes of the 4.
That's right.
You know,
That's right. Go ahead.
So, the school system is a mess. Let's just be honest. The school system is an absolute mess. So, if you look at it that way, well, somebody else has been driving the last 3 years. So, if somebody else, we ain't getting no better, that's one reason I may say, well, the other side think they can do better for a minute, let them drive for a while. But right or wrong, I think everybody's got to work together, because the children are who is losing it all. While we're fighting them, school board, most embarrassing thing I've seen in my life. Absolutely embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it's totally embarrassing when you got kids out there that are paying attention
Kids
to it.
are
And see, the kids are so smart nowadays. You know, it ain't like it used to be when we were kids, and you could like to have an adult conversation that we don't know about it. They know everything.
Yeah. Let me tell you something now, and I think we all got to listen, because the kids matter. It doesn't matter if you're a Children's fan. We ain't wearing jerseys at school board meeting with Miss Guilford or anybody else, or Dr. Ashton. I didn't know. You know, sometimes I just sit back and watch and get my own perception without somebody clouding my difference. That man is sharp. He is a sharp talking man. He knows. I think he knows politics. He's a pretty sharp guy. But we got to get on board for the kids, because I got a good friend on Miss Dalton. Lord, she gets fired up about them schools. Lord, everything they said. She had a comment here. Lord, I kind of like to stay a little lower, but she ain't staying lower. That ain't her style. She gonna get right in the middle. It don't matter if she on the stage or in the crowd. She gonna get right in the middle. And which I was thinking great, but they were proposing some good stuff. If you really look what the other side is doing right now, it is about freeing up money for the kids. They are going after these contracts. People are making millions off these school contracts. We got a maintenance department that ain't even doing maintenance because we got so many people to get a contract. It is dangerous, I'm telling you. So whenever they say, and somebody has a problem with it, hey, let's not allow the vendors to feed the teachers and the staff. You know what they're doing? They're trying to cut back kickbacks. That's all they're trying to do, because sometimes if you feed somebody, you'll get a $30,000, $40,000 contract. It's
funny you mentioned contracts, because I was going to ask you about that today. It keeps coming up, and people keep asking me, Glasgow, when you going to talk about they haven't had no black construction companies or no black contracts with the city for the past 5 to 7 years, and that keep coming up, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll talk to Bradley Bedwell, because he seems to want to have some contracts going all across the board.
Come on in here.
Kyle Scott in the building.
How you clap last time I come in here?
How you doing, sir?
But so how many have applied? That'd be my first question.
That's the first
I need the stats on that.
That's the first question.
How many has applied?
I'm definitely going to get those stats up to see how many have applied.
Now, the only problem is he got put on the, congrats to Jamal Walton for being put on the planning board. I know one tomorrow that got the, because that's half the battle. How's the contract written? Do we really need a 50-foot crane to do a project, or with a 35-foot project? You know what I mean? But at the same time, Jamar Walton has the resources in the construction company to get any contract down there if he wants. I don't know if his role on the, because Miss Daniels, who is making District 1 and 2 so proud.
She is on it, ain't she?
She is like me, unless, you know, because Kyle done got to learn me. I'm a little introverted, and I'm very short, a short word in a little way. So, man, she is, and I love me some Doris. That's my guy. But
she don't even talk, Kyle.
whenever she talk, you better
But when
listen.
she say something, she like E.F. Hutton. You know, when E.F. Hutton talks, everybody listen. That's the way Miss Daniels is. She ain't got nothing to say. But when she say something, you can believe it is well grounded in what she's going to, what comes out of her mouth.
She has got a group of advisors. So that's what I noticed about her at the beginning. Did you notice that, Kyle? She has she does. Her daughter is sharp. She got my vote for District 1, whatever she does.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's who's advising this lady. And she is the pinnacle of class and...
what you think about Philip Percy so far?
Elite is...
I give him credit for...
Talking to Mike.
I give him credit for when the shooting happened wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Bradley were the only two commissioners to make
Only two.
cases public.
Only two.
Bradley went down to the crime scene. And the follow-up, he went down to that crime scene as well. So I gotta give him credit for him.
And you know the first thing everybody say, well, he's a cop. Guess what? He's a commissioner too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't his jurisdiction. He didn't have to go. So don't say he's a cop for an excuse. No, he really didn't have to go. And
so like my thing is, like, it's no secret that I did really want to see Tilly win, but at the same time, I gotta give credit where credit's due. So my biggest thing is, it's good to be there for the ribbon cuttings. It's good to be there for the events. It's good to be there for all positivity, but it's also good to be there for negativity. So I gotta give Philippe his credit for his first action being there for negativity, and I also gotta give Bradley credit for actually taking the time on his day to go to the crime scene to see what
and you know Bradley Bedwell is a white guy, right? You know it's a white guy. He's a white guy. And that speaks volumes. When you have somebody that's concerned about the community, no matter what the color is,
Well, it's pretty
no matter
simple.
what the situation is, they still show up.
Well, that is half the battle, but let me get back on Philippe, because he's a friend. I really had to think about it. I'll tell you, and I think we had some fine commissioner last time, but this District 1 and 2 commissioner has come to play now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, they
have
have.
come to play. They understand it, because it doesn't matter if you just serve the community. You got to know how to get things done. There's a difference. Can you get things done? And as you've seen yesterday, the commissioner come to play. At the
Man,
end of
don't
the day, I got
even
their
talk
back.
about yesterday.
Yeah, so let's not get on that yet, but let's talk about,
You won't go there about yesterday.
now, and one thing about Philippe now, and we got a mutual friend, and he was standing up there just looking. It's just what he does. He looks at sometime, and Philippe worried about the whole commission. He over there sizing them up like what he doing? I said, no, man, he just looking. He cool. And so he's not only worried about his people, but one thing I'll say volumes about Philippe as well. You know, the other day he actually, wrote a message to the community about SNAP benefits. He actually cares. He feels kind of like I do. These people starving. You know what I mean? You know, all of them ain't sold at Walmart for $40.
That's right.
And so I think that's a big thing. But let me tell you something. My biggest thing, and I want Kyle to talk about what he's been up to lately. But my biggest thing is, if you're so passionate, you want to come take my job. All right, cool. Let's let's roll it. It's gonna be fun, and you're gonna be, and you're gonna look like a fighting chicken by the end, because I'm gonna work you every which way you can. You know what I mean? It's But if you're gonna take my job and you care so much about this city, where the hell are you now? Where the hell are you now? Where you at?
We ain't heard nothing from what's his name? Hell with the David. What was his name?
Oh, he little.
Well, but I'm gonna tell you who showed up. I'm gonna tell you who showed up yesterday. That shocked the nation of Dothan, Alabama. And I did say the nation of Dothan, Alabama, right? Stop. Stop came out of the bleachers on everybody yesterday.
That dude is tough.
And this, no.
He is tough.
I mean, no question, no hesitation, no ifs and buts, no.
It was a simple issue. We got 2 people that are selling the property and 800 people pissed off. And so I took heck of my mentor in public relations here. Here, I took his thing. I'm just going to run a survey and do what the survey says.
Cal Scott, the man said no. Scott, I salute you this morning, man. Dave Scott, we salute you this morning. Stop.
I'm Scott. Let's stop.
Okay, stock. I'm sorry. Can we buy some stock? Can we buy some stock? Okay. But anyway, Commissioner Dave Stock, we love you, man. We thank you so much for looking out for the community, looking out for each and every one of us that was against that deal. Because there are some deals that go on that I don't think that they really take a survey of the community's interest. Had they done so, they would have known not to even go forward with that. You know what I mean? So this is a prime example of doing things. And then, you know, one of the other questions I have, you know, I get all these emails and I get these announcements from the city and all that, but I don't see none of those kind of things. So none of the agenda items are not sent for publication.
Everybody.
And that concerns me sometimes.
Well, the good news is that we're the most public. You can see, you get the same packet I do. All you gotta do is click the hyperlink up there. No other government does that.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, we want you to see
that's
the same
wicked
thing
shot.
we do. Yep.
She do her job.
No, it's just we don't want any confusion. You know what I mean? And we try to be upfront as possible. But let's get back on Jimmy real quick, and then we're gonna. Jimmy, like I said, I think I'm gonna start this with you take my man Kyle Scott here. Sometimes people just don't understand people that I think he loves Dothan now. I mean, absolutely love it. No, you. I think you have got appreciation for it since you learned it. But they're not here. They may be upset at the time, but it's because they're passionate. That they really love it.
2 things I'm going to tell you now. Kyle Scott and Jimmy McCray, like I said earlier, when I looked around at that school board meeting last night, Jimmy McCray was right there. Jimmy McCray and Kyle Scott has been in the Peterson. I'm not saying it because I know it that well, but they have definitely been involved and engaged ever since the election, like a non-stop, like ain't nothing never happened. They have not missed a step.
You know what this man does in his spare time? He gives out ice cream for free to kids.
Yeah, I seen that. Do you know I didn't know that until the parade, right? And I'm like, what are you doing, man? And I'm like, well, how you make a living or whatever? He said, God's just blessing me. And I'm like, okay. All right, well, can I give you a donation? No, this is my donation. Let me give it. You know, you want to give a donation, buy some ice cream. And I'm like, okay, all right.
Well, he's in a financial struggle of his life. He's still giving back.
Yes.
But I think when people start this and they learn so much, and then you put an ideal out, the public will tell you what they think. Like Jimmy, I'm the public. You know, me and you buddies now. Cancel on Halloween, that's crazy. Just send your kids to the white neighborhood like everybody else does. It ain't no big deal. You know what I mean? You know, we love to have your kids in our neighborhood. We can't cancel Halloween. But if you actually, if he slowed down and talked like he did while he would have got a lot more votes because people are starting to listen.
People are definitely listening to you, and they watch you, and they see you, and they like, man, this guy is really, really intelligent. Believe it or not, I'm still studying a lot of that stuff with that Citizens Review Board, but I'm also studying that consent decree even more and more. We are really, really in the real default on what that consent decree asks for and what it entails.
What's a consent decree?
Oh, he's gonna give you the short. Give him the short definition of it.
Short.
But we are definitely, you know, when we look at,
you can mention it.
Yeah, but you can define it better than I can at a short. In a short, I had to go the long way. But one of the things that I did look at before you define it for us is the employment factors that's put in there. I didn't know that was in there. I really didn't know that was in there, Kyle. About employment itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to us. So give us a real fine tune real quick. What's the consent decree?
Yeah, I brushed up my memory on it now, but I know that there's a decree in 76 from a judge same judge that decided Rosa Parks case.
Same judge.
Same judge. And it stated that the city and its agencies have to have a certain amount of representation from the black community involved in those agencies. So, on the outside looking in, I can't sit there and say that the city or those agencies that have agreed to do that have any flaws. However, I wonder how smooth the city would run if those targets were met. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes
So
a lot of
I can't
sense.
sit there and say
That makes a
that
lot of sense.
Well,
you don't have situations that hit national attention.
Right.
That's beautiful for a city this size. At the same time, we do have situations
that's
that
because of
occur.
the relationship of people like this man with the city.
Well, I try to keep the national out of our business. Everything that we go through at home, and people get mad at me about it. A lot of black folks get mad at me about it. Bring some national attention. I'm like, nah, I live here, and I gotta live here, and I'm gonna live here, and I'm not moving from here. So I love it. I just, I was raised by Mama T. What goes on in this house stays in this. So what goes on in this city, I think that we have enough people, advocates on one side, commissioners, elected officials, and all on one other side, that care enough that we can settle it within the house.
That's
You,
right.
you know what I mean? And if we can't settle it within the house, I don't think that we need to spew our dirty laundry out where everybody can see it. Especially when we got people like Stephen up there that's talking about Dothan, Alabama from the White House. I'm still trying to look into what was that about. I still haven't got a clear understanding of why he would mention Dothan, Alabama.
Well, and it's like I told Mr. Scott this morning while I was calling ramped up, I was going 115 miles an hour. I get myself, I'm an introvert, I don't like to talk, I get myself ramped up. And I was telling him, I said, the point is yes, people, yes, keep it entertaining, but we're really here to help. That's the only reason we're here to help. You don't ever want to drive people to the point where they turn their ears off, and that's our main goal. We want to go to the edge, but we don't want to cross it. And I think that's one thing we stay out of national news is because people know at the end of the day, people care. If something's right, it's right. If it's wrong around here. We're going to call it. We're going to try to help them. And you got to inch people closer. You can't take people miles, but you can inch people closer to where things are better for everybody.
Amen. Amen. Well, that's the misnomer. Dr. Kid Sharp, the Glasgow show. Everybody's like, is he going to be controversial? Is he going to be this? No. All of it is WKCG. We keep the community growing. And sometimes we have to deal with growing pains. and they hurt sometimes. And we have to address stuff as it comes. I stay out of a lot of stuff so I can see it happen and organically and coming to fruition to where we are unifying Dothan with others instead of just the main players. And so that's one of the things I love about you two is that you will always show up and be there when necessary, but you allow and give room for everybody else to work and get involved and have buy-in and have tie-in and stuff. Sometimes we as leaders have to know when to just be there. Our presence is enough sometimes. We don't have to be the one with the mic or speaking all the time. We can just be the one there to make sure everything is going right and organized. So I love that.
What are you and Jimmy doing with schools? I see that on Facebook.
Yeah, that is something I am very interested in.
That's nothing that I'm not going to take credit for that. He asked me to show up.
You
I'll
like
show
the
up.
other background.
So there's a brother called Marcus whose wife works in a certain school, and it's a school that's a trouble school. And he held a meeting at his place of business, and I got to give credit also to Kevin Dorsey, because he was there at the meeting. The idea was to create mentorship for younger children.
For younger
Of
children.
all colors, all races.
Mm-hmm.
Just, specifically boys, to mentor boys. So the organization's called Brothers Building Bridges. So their first meeting I was there for, and that was at Beverly, where they introduced themselves. They split into groups to figure out what passions each child had. That was short, brief. Second meeting was Halloween. Sorry. Halloween, I was at DPA. I had an event giving out ice cream, and so Jimmy, the brother Marcus, and a couple other brothers from Brothers Building Bridges went back to Beverly and gave out candy and did the trunk or treat, is what it's called. So I really respect the fact that different individuals in the community are coming together knowing that the best way to help the future generation is to be there for them and to build a bridge that, is always open for that elder to give mentorship or to say, hey, you did a good job, or hey, how's your day? When Peter Festival was great, I set up to sell ice cream. I was right in front of Jelano's. No disrespect to Jelano's, he's the king of desserts too. So,
So what's your ice cream business name?
Dessert Daddy.
Man, good.
Dessert what?
Dessert Daddy.
Dessert Daddy.
Good.
Okay.
During the Peter Festival parade, about 4 different kids from Beverly came up. I didn't know you're an ice cream man too. I'm like, yeah, small business owner.
Right.
Hey, how's your day? How's your this? How's your that? I have 2 or 3 siblings with them. Gave them ice cream. And it's little things. As you're saying, sometimes it's just people show up.
That's it.
So,
That's the only thing that matters.
out of the 300 kids in the
That's
auditorium,
it.
over the last couple of weeks with the ice cream truck, it's getting cold now, but probably saw about 10 kids out of 300.
Yeah.
Ice cream gotta be good to sell in the
Society,
winter
this
time.
is random places, So, I think
I eat it in the tub too.
I think that it's a 3-legged way to fix a lot of what's happening here. And one leg is advocacy. So I guess that what Marcus and Jimmy are doing.
Can you explain advocacy? Sometimes I hear that's a bad word.
That is true. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, a lot of people.
There's a lot of people taking this a bad word. They say they're going to advocate, but and I'd be like, Jesus said that he's our advocate. So how could y'all make it a bad word when Jesus said he's the advocate in 1 Peter 2nd chapter 1st? But anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll get back to the 3-legged advocacy. So something dwelled on my mind the other day, and this is what I've come up with. Yesterday's liberal is today's conservative.
Yeah, let me jog that. Give me and Bradley Bedwell, the
I gotta make sure you ain't like Jimmy talk about Kevin on Halloween.
Yeah, give us a couple minutes to kind of wait it out. Y'all hear this? Yesterday's what? Now say it again.
Yesterday's liberal.
Yesterday's liberal
is today's conservative.
Is today's conservative.
Oh, explain that. You better get
Okay.
Yeah, break that down. You gotta break that down.
We have to break this down. And remember, we're unity here.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to start from the Civil War.
Okay.
Okay. So during the Civil War, right, people of our complexion were enslaved, right?
Right.
Fast forward, you get down to the Jim Crow era.
Okay.
So the generation that had slavery would have been conservative. Their kids would have been liberal.
Okay.
Because now it's just segregation versus the slavery. Fast forward, now you have equal rights. So now you have equal rights. So the bar moves. So for example, if I were to take a World War II veteran, so I'm moving closer. If a World War II veteran were to look at me or Bradley or you today, and we say, okay, we're men with conservative values. A World War II veteran would laugh.
Of course.
Because the bars move.
The bars
now, if you were to take that World War II veteran and compare him to a Civil War veteran and say, hey, a World War II veteran says, hey, I'm conservative.
Yes.
And then the Civil War veteran will lock me in. So the bar moves more liberal as time comes.
Well, I got a daycare worker. She was extremely conservative, 65, fine woman down at First Baptist Church. Every one of her kids are liberal, so I guess what you're saying now, their kids are going to be conservative.
Yes.
Because a time changes.
Because,
it's like
for example,
You know, when you it's funny when you said that. I thought about our sheriff and others. You know, his children are liberal, very liberal, and you know, a lot of people don't know it, but they know now. And that's happening a lot with a lot of our officials, that they are very conservative and their kids are very liberal. And they're going through that intergenerational.
But when you sit there and you take it back to, let's say, where I started, the Civil War era veterans, everybody alive today would be liberal to them. Everybody.
Yeah, because everybody's conservative.
Yeah, because everybody's conservative.
Everybody back then would have said that they would say, hey, I'm conservative. No matter whether you're red or blue today,
I guess it's a good way of looking at it. We have made some progress.
I think
And so that's what I'm getting at. Is that that's how I measure progress. Because if you, I measure it from looking back at 100 years. So if I dug up somebody 100 years ago, I had them look at you, look at Bradley, look at me, and we all, and let's say for example, we all said we're conservative men.
Right.
That 100-year-old person that I dug up
With
would laugh.
Yeah.
They're called you a commie.
Yeah.
Call Bradley a damn socialist.
Right.
They call me, far left or something.
Yeah.
So that from that lens, it's why can't we all get along? Because everybody has some conservative values. Everybody has some liberal values. Everybody has things that they want to see remain, and everybody has things that they want to see change. Right? So my biggest thing in analyzing that is when you have a label that you put on yourself, such as advocate, or such as right, or such as left, those labels are really irrelevant because to everybody of yesterday, all of us now alive are liberal.
You don't even meet the criteria.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
So what was the other 2 points being?
So advocacy. So you understand that's a value.
No, I would just.
Or that's a word that is deemed to be, have negative connotations to it. So for me, I think everyone advocates for something. So like in my campaign, I advocated for, open votes, open surveys against the general public, and we gave a survey. We surveyed the people, asked them what they want, and found out that 2 people wanted something and 800 wanted something else, and that's what democracy is.
And I get a lot of heat because I'm friendly to everybody. I think everybody has values. That's one thing I don't see David never had. He's got a brother still in Turkey. During Christmas he kind of makes you very forgiving very quickly. But I don't think people understood a lot of times he was pointing at the police or this or whatever. But then I learned something about you. You think whenever something bad happens that the public officials should show up. That's one of your values. So you were very, I think, misunderstood by that. A lot of times it wasn't that you saying that Dothan's the worst place in the world. You're just saying people need to show up and help when bad things happen, not just when good things happen.
Yeah, it's not so much. I've never once said Dothan was the worst place in the world. I wouldn't be here if that's the case.
He loves Dothan. I think he does. I think he doesn't come around. Oh, he'll get you. It's like a blade. They got me. Go ahead.
It's scientifically impossible. So watch this. Here's another analogy example.
He's so great.
My son's 2.5 years old. I locked him in the room until he's 18. All he'll know is inside that room. Right? For him to gain new knowledge, he must how to have something must come into that room. Does that make sense? So, I wasn't born and raised in Doha. A lot of people don't know this. I've lived in 23 different countries. I've traveled to 23 different countries. I lived in 6 different countries. And settled here, started a family. It's slower, peaceful, and my dad used to work on working when I was a kid. So for me, to be on the outside of that room, to come in, I have new knowledge, new perspective on what's going on in that room. I'm just voicing what I see. Oh, there's some scratches on the wallpaper there. Ooh, the floor's nice, but that board's lifted up. Ooh, the window's nice, but you know, it's not double pane. Why has it got a mini split and an AC unit? It's costing a lot of money for the electric. So, for me,
That's a good point, too. We need to cut this down. But go ahead.
But for me, it was never about talking down upon a place. It was, you can't be upset with me for noticing stuff that was going on prior to me coming here. So like I knocked one person's door and they were like, you know, I'm from here, and, you know, just, you know, about negative things to say. I said, I understand. I said, however, what negative do I say? You know, like our roads need to be, I'm like, I drive on the roads. You expect me not to feel the bumps in my car?
Yeah.
Like, but, so back to the 3 things that are the 3.
Let me add one more, but I think it's just,
The roads are getting better.
so, and me, you talk about your purpose, your plan. I think you got something great in the next 15 years. I think delivery is so important.
And that's my problem.
You can't kill the people that can help you. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah.
And
And I think
that's
what
your
they need to learn. No, it ain't your problem. No,
It ain't your problem no more.
He doesn't
But
change.
that has been my problem. One of my biggest mistakes is my delivery.
Hey, you want to know in just a quick thing, we'll have finish 3/4. I'm trying to work on talking faster and everything else. He's doing good. But you know what? I was going to come see him the day after the election. I didn't text him once. I wasn't using nobody for votes. But this man fixed a lot of things with a bucket of chicken. You know, I was out there all day long at the National Beat Up. We're gonna work out our details the day after the election. Everybody said, you go see Kyle Scott, and I'd rather lose than use a man for votes. I said, I'll go see him after the election. But man, a man brings you some chicken when you're hungry, he'll fix a lot of crap. So go ahead with the 3 things.
But one of the things that I love is when we started Unified Dothan right before the campaign, is this is Unified Dothan. And I hope that people see that, even to the point that you could run against each other in a campaign for election and yet be friends after. And to me, that's more important than anything else. That's brother and sister in love. Because brothers and sisters all go fuss and fight, but they still family. And that's what I love about Dothan, that we're able to do that. You know, we're able to go through the problems and point out each other's faults and this and that and the other. And then turn around and say, okay, now let me help you fix that.
No, I got some crap for it, to be
Yeah.
honest, you know, but I think as grown men, we got to look at our part of any problem. And somebody said, well, we kind of need to be careful, we kind of do so. I said, well, hell, I started it.
Yeah.
You know, I threw the first.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah, I
I mean?
think the first
You know
time.
what I mean? I started.
Yeah. And then you have
the Reverend George Bush women.
yeah. And then you have
Yeah, but hell, that's 2 points. There
and
you
you
go.
got to be mindful though. You got to be mindful not of the people that get mad because you're coming together, but the people that don't want you together. Why? What is their agenda? You know, what do they want? Why do they not want unity? What is their real self-interest? And that's what we have to be very, very mindful of. Because when people don't want to see people together, it's a reason behind it now. It's some money involved. It's some,
And it ain't just toward the.
something going on.
It just ain't toward the power play. We had that good show with Ricky. We didn't burn nobody. We stayed on a pretty good line. Now, it was the interesting best show I think you ever had. You had callers from yours, the community call in, better than hell.
Exactly.
But it was good. A couple that may be a problem called in and said, why didn't you? Well, I said, he coming next month.
He coming next month.
I ain't got
We'll
no.
talk to him again. You know, so what's the problem? The problem is, you know, I'm solution driven now.
There's money in division.
Yeah, exactly.
People
in control. In control.
People forget that. Like people forget that. For example, everybody should know that we have the industrial war complex, war machine. So industrial, I forgot the term to use. There's money in war. Show me one nation that says, you know what, we're gonna have peace, and our GDP flies up.
Let me tell you something.
So it goes from the top down to the bottom.
Yes.
And every crack in between, whether it's a school board, whether it's a commission, whether it's you and me, whether it's different churches, and we need to figure out as a nation how to make money
but I believe we already have. And this country has, what, 400 or 500 years and more. I mean, you got to look at the fact, man, that this country has been doing this forever and a day. And we keep repeating the same mistakes. There's no way. There's no way. We're too intelligent for that. Right now, at our fingertips, we can get all the knowledge in the world we want at any given time. This is how intelligent we are. And yet we can't find solutions to all these problems we got. That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. So that means somebody is living and thriving and capitalizing off these problems and don't want the solutions to come about too quickly because it'll cut off somebody's paycheck. Hello, somebody.
You don't want to hear my answer to that.
What's your answer?
You might be baffled.
Go ahead. What is it?
You might be baffled.
Well,
I have a lot of hate if I answer.
Well, I mean, if you've been hated before, it ain't gonna be the first time. Probably won't be the last in your life. You're a young man.
I'm gonna get religious on you now.
Go ahead.
The Bible, how many tribes of Israel were there?
Let them try.
12. When Columbus came to this country, there's people here, right?
That's already.
Okay. What shape is the teepee?
Triangle.
Shape is pyramid.
Triangle.
Okay. Go down to South America, they have Aztec temples and all these other temples, right? Are they similar construction to the temples in Egypt?
Most definitely.
Most definitely. Okay. As I said, if I lock my son in the room, there's nothing he can learn.
That's right.
Unless he has outside information.
That's right.
So I'm about to get religious with
I
you.
already know where you're going. I feel it. Come on.
I believe,
You
personally,
believe?
that Native Americans have to be at least one of those tribes of Israel. Because, watch this, they have totem poles, right?
Go ahead.
You ever looked at their totem pole?
Well,
The bird god,
well,
the sun god,
well.
all this other stuff, right?
Well, let's go even further. Let's look at this Sphinx.
There you go.
Let's look at it. They also exist in Mexico. They also exist in Spain. They also existed in what we call now Europe, which was once Asia.
Well, I'm just talking about the North America and South America.
Yeah, okay, well, we're still in North America, but we got a lot of
So
stuff.
where I'm headed is,
Go ahead.
well, I believe that Moses freed the 12 tribes of Israel.
Mhm.
And I believe that those tribes were of multiple different colors, multiple different races. Race wasn't the construct of that point, right? I believe that
Excuse
one
me?
of
I
those
said everybody was cousins.
Well, the separation then was language. It wasn't even race. It was language.
I believe one of those tribes came to North America. And I believe that the people in North America, the Native Americans, descend from one of the tribes of Israel. This is 12. And I believe that, in a way, it's cursed upon us from God to continuously do the same thing, expecting the results.
I'm gonna be very, very honest with you. And here's where you go off into my
It's the
studies.
same where it says, "Who God blesses,
Right,
nobody
right,
can
right.
curse."
And it goes off into
Yeah.
my studies. When it says the curse of Ham,
Yeah.
they always tried to frame that as black people, this and that, and other people of color and all that. but it's actually not. It's actually people, like I said, of language and the concept.
Yeah. Because race wasn't a construct.
Exactly, race wasn't a construct. So the thing about it is that would back up what you just said about the curses. And one of the things that people don't want to get into, well, it's very much deep. But one of the no. One of the things
See, we're working with them about describing, you know,
This is a gospel radio.
You know, a lot of people, when you start going back to Civil War, you got to stay in present.
Yeah,
People got a
yeah.
short attention span. But he's so deep.
But anyway, to back up what you're saying and to agree to it so we can move on, you would have to go back to that, and that would be correct.
So what
That's
was
like Old Testament, right?
So what would piss people off? What would piss people off?
So where we are now is, and I'm a very, very ardent believer in this. When people don't know their history, they what?
It repeats itself.
Okay. And they reduce themselves to repeat it. So it's not just repeating it, it's the reduction of repeating it.
So
because like you just said, we're supposed to be progressive. And we have shown progression. But we're supposed to be a whole lot further if we would only know our history.
I want to hear your perception on this. Would it be the worst thing ever if Snap went away?
If Snap went away, I'm going to be very honest with you.
That would be very hard on people.
I'm going to be very, very honest with you. A lot of people going to get upset. A lot of people gonna get upset, but I just one that believe that God is allowing all this to happen to bring us closer together. Because what happened before Snap?
People, you either start
there was what?
Out there.
The church was a storehouse.
Oh, say what?
The church was a storehouse.
Say it again, please.
The church was a
For the
storehouse.
ones in the back that didn't hear you.
That's what it says in the Bible.
You understand? And so it brought people together, and then we had what? One church. You know why we had one church? You know why we had one believed in one God? You know why we were one family? You know why we were one kingdom? Because everybody took care of everybody. When we go to Acts and we look at Ananias, Sapphira, right? And it says that Peter and Paul and they had, well, not Paul, but Peter. They had to bring in everything they had and they shared it equally. And this husband and wife said, well, we're not going to tell them we got all this and all that. And then they died.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? See, wasn't no snapping none of that then. Everybody relied on everybody else and their families and all to take care. We didn't have to worry about the funeral, not the funeral home, excuse me. We didn't have to worry about the nursing homes and this and that. Every family had to take the responsibility of their own family. And the community had the responsibility of their community. So if they take it away, it's just going to make people unify together even more. Everybody's worried about, crime, this, that. No. I'm just one that don't believe that. I don't believe it's going to make people, I know people going to get angry. I know some incidences may happen, but I don't think it's going to be on such a massive scale to where people going to just start killing each other and all this massive. No. I think it's going to be to a massive scale that people going to start coming back together and get back to family like they're supposed to. And go to church. Because right now, if you look at it, people are running to church.
They need it. And that's one of the biggest
things. Not for the right reasons.
Excuse me?
People aren't running to church right now for the right reasons.
No, not for the right reasons at all. But you take away that slap, it's going to help them get there.
Well, and that was kind of my point is I'm not taking a light on it, but I think sometimes, like me and him was having this conversation yesterday. My daddy, I thought he was going to get my mother retirement. He's not. So he's getting $1,800 a month and renting those at $1,500. I'm like, what in the world are you going to do? I told Kyle, I could sign him up for food stamps. We were talking yesterday. But in my mind, that's just an extra to get him to the salary wherever I ain't got to pay for it. Well, that's the problem. Whenever you get all these benefits, you get a salary where if you get a job and start progressing in life, you're going to have something negative happen to you. Because you're going to lose benefits.
But guess what?
So you are stuck.
Marriages to stay together more.
You can't
have single women will stop all that INDPEL, independent, all that. People will start coming, men, especially black men, will have a respectable place in society again, especially with black women. I'm just being honest with you. Because the way they got it set up now, Commissioner Bedwell, and I say Commissioner Bedwell, not Bradley, because I need to talk to you officially on this. The way they got it set up now, a black man can't even run his own household.
No. Everybody said, why?
He gets Section 8, he can't come. Food stamps, he can't be there. It's welfare, he can't be. I mean, come on now. If they take away that, it's going to give people back their dignity.
Because men can't live in
they going to call me a
houses.
fascist and all that for saying that, but I'm just being honest.
No, I think the people in that community would say the same thing. We can't have our husband in our house because our kids will not have a place to sleep. That is just that, and that is a hard thing to come around.
Very hard.
You might well be having an affair. You got to sneak your man around so somebody don't see it. You know what I mean? I think that's a hard thing. I think that's one thing we can progress because I think people are starting to see what I see. It ain't even about unity. It's about self-preservation. We got young kids that now people don't want to go to the malls. So instead of $4 a sales tax on 100, we're getting 33 cents for people buying it through the internet. It is self-preservation. We got to do something to get these kids something else to do. And one thing I give Children's credit, he said, in a way I heard it, he didn't say it that way. You got to excuse me, my terminology ain't that good. He said, let's start jailhouse programs in high school, teach people skills before we get to the prison. You know
Before
what?
they get there. That's come, I think, what you're doing with the brothers building bridges. I think that is very, very good because, when they do a study to find out what kids are going to college, what kids are going to prison, they do it at 4th and 5th grade.
I think that that's one leg of the problem solving. Jimmy's gonna hate me for this. Jimmy's gonna hate me for this.
Jimmy listening now.
You understand? He did one camp out.
My wife has her son in a program called Hippie.
Okay.
And Hippie is where a individual comes to your house and teaches a mother how to teach education to their kids, but for a certain age. Now, if I'm not mistaken, some of that program is funded through the Salego Foundation.
Yeah, some of it is funded through the Salego Foundation. It is a great program.
I'll put my hands up.
But it's a great program regardless.
And I'll put my hands up that I didn't know until after the election when my wife's like, she had a friend and like jumped on me and like, hey, I'm like, okay. But so as much as like, so there needs to be multiple attack points. So one, like brothers building bridges. So people going into schools and talking to the kids in the schools. That's great. It gives them aspiration and teaches kids that, hey, you got somebody there for you, even if you might have a parent.
Your kid is a 2.5. What a read level is he on?
Four.
But he doesn't
that
go to
reason,
preschool, but he got a dad in his life.
And he's doing the home
He got a
school.
dad in his life that cares about him.
So, and this is the next. So, Hippie, it's what program can the city bring, or what program can the church bring, or what program can we as individuals bring to teach men and women of all colors how to be together, how to be a man leading the household, as long as you earn the right to do so. How can we do that? Because that's the truth. That's the truth.
Let me show you something.
And before you get on that, I want
Go ahead.
to hit on something. I would like to challenge. Now, I tell you what, people, I don't get nobody else's business. Because like I said, I don't fight other people's fights. But I like to challenge somebody on a more finer nonprofit in this town. That actually teaches people how to fish and not just give out a resource. I would like to find.
That's a heck of a challenge.
I'm just talking about progress. I'm just talking about actual benefits.
Let me tell you that's let me tell you the problem you're going to run into with that. So the problem you're going to run into with that is going to be, first of all, who's going to admit that? Because you have programs that are far better, have done far more work than sleep services. Period. Saliba services have adopted, or we'll say co-op, a lot of tops work. And I'm going to toot my own horn on that. You know, because we started SEACH, the Southeast Alabama Coalition for the Homeless. I'm the founder of it. Do they put that on the website? No, they say that David Jameson is co-founder. They don't list who the founder is. They took that off the website, purposely. Okay? And I am the founder. That you can fact check. Neighborhood Restoration. Do they say the founder of that? No. But they give credit to the Chamber of Commerce and Sam Proper. See, these are things that when we know our history, then we know. Those the need, we can go pull up articles and all that. Now you go to ChatGPT and just pull it up. I did it the other day just to see it. They erased some of it, but you can't erase it all. You always.
You see my lot. You can see my eyes light up.
Yeah.
But you want to know why?
Why?
You don't even, you know, whenever you say that, it's your overall goal, I done learned, is more about positive benefiting the community. Yes, you like to say that you got a fault. You don't even care about that. You know what I mean? You want to help people. That's one way you.
If they took it, they took it. You know, good. I'll move on to something else. That's just the way I am. And I get upset about it, but then I catch myself. How did you get emotional about something that God gave you for the people? It wasn't for
sometimes you're an avenue to get it started.
Exactly, and that's what the apostle do. And we'll leave that alone. Don't start. But anyway.
So my thing was.
No, it goes.
So I think that we build a house. Framers are expert at framing. A roofer is expert at roofing. A mason's expert at bricklaying. Floor is somebody that's good at floors. Carpenter is somebody that's good at cabinetry and whatnot. Electrician, plumbers, you have different roles that you need an expert of. So I say this with a grain of salt. I say this, I'll put my hands up. I don't know everything that the Sleep Foundation does. However, I wonder what their metrics are on the HIPPY program. I wonder if they track it from 2 years old all the way to graduation. And see how many kids go through that program.
Let's do that.
I wonder if they track it. So if they track it,
miss that organization if it wasn't here.
If they track it, I wonder what success rates are.
It's been great.
Now,
and let's make sure we understand. Saliba Services only contribute to HIPPY. HIPPY is a totally ran, autonomous organization within itself. It's not a program of our Saliba Services. So let's make sure we clear on
because it's a federal program.
Exactly. It is fun. Exactly.
So we take HIPPY, and that's someone coming into the home and spending time with the kid to educate them and teach a mother how to educate. That's one leg of the house. The roof of the house is the city commission. That's right. You, for example, you'd be the person doing the framing.
Like a contractor.
He'd be the wind chime. Just start making noise.
I'll probably, to be honest, I'll probably be the one with the plans telling everybody what to do. To make sure it gets done.
To make the city.
That's where I'm at. I'm more of that kind of guy.
To make the community, the city, to be more efficient and produce better quality residents for years to come. All these organizations need to move in sync. The problem is, what I see is that we'll move in sync for certain issues, but not everything. And back to what you said with EPT. I'm not going to publicly say my opinion. I think there's people that need it, there's people that abuse it, there's people that don't abuse it. But
they're good and bad.
If you look at our community, because I'm talking our community, if you look and see where our community went wrong, it was with the introduction of you. Because we relied on the church project.
Stop right there. Go ahead, caller, you're live on there and talk to me.
You really struck a nerve on with me. As you said, we are part of everybody coming together. And the message that I ministered a few weeks ago is called "We all are in this together." And I think one of the most important things that we got to realize that everybody's into this thing together. We're all working together as one. And when we all work together as one, then we will see the progress of this city, progress of things happening positive with our youth. And one of the things as being a construction worker, it takes everybody to work together. When you build in a house, first thing, somebody got to come out, they got to lay out the plan to the house. And then somebody got to come out and then they're going to clear the land to the house. Then the next person really going to come out and dig the foundation. And then somebody going to come in and they're going to pour the concrete for the foundation. And the next thing that happens, then the man come in and he actually build the block work of the foundation. Then somebody come in and then they pour the concrete. And then before the concrete, you got to put plumbing in. And then everybody come together, whether you got the builder, the plumber, the carpenter, the person that actually do the sheetrock work. And then finally, everybody in position, the bricklayer. And so everybody come together and finally when you complete that particular house, then you get the inspection, then you see the progress of the work. So we all are in this together in the city of Dothan. We got to come together, work together, and be as one. We all are in this together. And thank you.
All right.
Yep, and then
Bishop Carroll. But one of the things I want to say.
Yeah, before we get off the Saliba Foundation, let me make a point about this.
Go ahead.
There ain't nobody in the Saliba family making money off the Saliba Foundation. Their only role is, and I'm telling you, as far as I know, because I was the treasurer, it is a good thing. If we had 100 different families set these up wherever they operate separately, do I make sense? The only role in there, if it's short on its budget, the Saliba family got to write a check. That is it. Other than that, Belinda Mitchell ran that thing with a fine-tooth comb all the way through. That is nothing but a standalone. That's almost like I think the one Saliba's on the board, that is it. Other than that, that's an organization that's just there to help people. It's a legacy to Albert or Alfred Saliba, whichever one. I don't know everything.
So
I think that's a good point. People understand that they got money coming.
Right.
That ain't how that operates.
So let me say this.
No, they administer the program.
They administer the program, but
and then they take the money, and I can vouch for the money. I was a treasury voucher here. The money goes here, and it goes into a different program. They got a teacher, and our community would be great if we had 200 of families that wanted to do something great, started a foundation.
Like a foundation.
That's exactly what it is.
It's a foundation.
I gotta run, but I thought that they were
one way to
a good program to have.
Very
one
good
way
program.
to fix the best thing you got.
Before you go.
Yep. I think doing what we're doing now.
The only way. Pay $9,000. Get Conway Project Management Systems. The new guy you hired with the MBA. Put him on flights to Spartanburg, South Carolina, to Gaithersburg, Tennessee, to Huntsville, to Coleman. Put him everywhere. 40 hours a week. Bring the factory here. That brings 1,000 jobs, starting at $20 an hour. See how quick you get ready to get EBT. See how quick Brian drops. See how quick Mike Schmitz is selling Mercedes-Benz. Money was ready. Money has to come into those, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It was definitely the same.
So, thus, we need a big factory that brings jobs.
Like when we had Sony.
Like when we had Sony.
Yeah.
Not before I even came in.
Yeah.
That's the only
You gotta close.
Yes.
You gotta be able to close. And that's one thing I'm gonna give credit Commission 1 and 2 district. They know how to close. That is.
So the one thing I want to say before you go is you explained about building the house. Bishop Carroll came and he confirmed the same thing you were saying about building the house. But one thing I love about building the house, when all them different people, the carpenters, the roof makers, the bricklayers, all that come in, none of their names are on the house. Only the construction company.
But it's the same. It's the same with any business.
Exactly.
When you go to, let's say for example, don't get mad at me. Let's say you go, Bradley got Toyota, I got Toyota. Let's say you go to Toyota, right? You might have the best service technician is as polite as they can be in this and that this. The problem is, it's what? Like you said, it's Toyota's name on the bill, or so-and-so's Toyota. The difference is we as a society, or we as the business, and that's why like that the Chamber of Commerce does this. They highlight different businesses and different employees in businesses.
But that's the problem we have though, in the nonprofit sector. That's where I'm going with this. In the nonprofit sector, what the problem is that if you got a Kenny Glasgow that got TOPS, and it's the longest existing today, criminal justice, prisoners' rights, felon voters' rights organization in existence today, and you just coming in and want to do criminal justice, you don't want to fall up on the TOPS. You want to do your own thing, have your own name, and dilute the power.
That's
See,
the problem. But
construction companies don't have that problem because you got electricians and everybody else that come and work for the construction company, work with the construction company, and don't have to have their name on it. With nonprofits, they're competing for dollars and have to have their name on it. So that's how they're diluting their power. I'm getting back to the question y'all asked on how come they can't come together. This is why. Because everybody wants to have their name on it. And instead of looking at that's not their expertise.
One of District 1 and 2 biggest problems is somebody gets something that ought to be a joy for everybody.
You understand?
Everybody in the world ever
That's the problem.
At the same time.
When people go to church, they talk about their church. The pastor changes, but the church remains. Woo.
Yeah, most time
Come on now.
Most time they talk more about the passion.
But guess
than
what?
the church.
People get mad because they don't like that way that church running and go open up their own church. So everybody, you got 17 churches right here in the 4-block radius. 17 churches, well 18 now. 18 churches within these 4 blocks you at right now. Why? But and some of them are just my little 4 more.
I think it.
You understand what I'm saying?
I gotta go. I'll leave you this.
And I'm going to leave you with one thing.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you ask any kid that's inner city today who Martin Luther King was, they'll say they'll say Black hero, right? Ask what church you went to, they wouldn't be able to tell you.
No.
Ask the same about Malcolm X. Ask the same about Fred Hampton and Huey P. So in our community, it's something different. So what you're talking about is in the predominantly Caucasian community. In our community, we more so will remember the individual more than the organization.
But if people would respect the individuality in a collective, understand what I'm saying? In a collective. Because while you say that in our community we respect the individual more so than the collective, you still, and let me give you an analogy I give everybody, right? You've been to a boxing gym before, right? Okay. Everybody in the boxing gym is the champ until the champ walk in the door with the belt. And even though everybody respect him as a champ, they still want to beat his behind and take the belt. And that's our community.
That's it. Nobody's ever gonna get anything if everybody isn't happy
Woo.
with something. You know, but
Like the boxing gym where
Instead of accepting, respecting the champ.
And that's how NASCAR does it, which is, yes, like the team will win.
The
But
team
I
wins.
think it's so powerful, like the kids to see him run.
The
his
team
own
wins.
business. So will you tell the people what other businesses you got going on right now, the ones you just started? Just real quick. You know, a leaf business.
I'm thinking about that.
Yes. He's thinking about doing a leaf business, and if you got any home repairs,
I'm starting a subcontractor company.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Just home repairs.
Home repairs.
Fine.
What about buildings like this?
If it's under $9,000, yeah. I'm not trying to bid on something that I can't do.
So you need to stay here. I got some more stuff. We just, but anyway, we're
but
not
I know
gonna
you gotta go with this.
But
I got
you
somebody buying my
need to
truck,
talk.
Yeah,
We got some stuff going
So
on.
the only thing, if we're gonna fix this town, we just gotta make a company fall in love with Dothan like Kyle Scott has while he was campaigning. He can say it or not. You can
That's
tell
right.
that man
Yeah.
loves Dothan now.
Yeah.
It is contagious. You're gonna be there in another year. We got you. You go ahead and do your thing. So thank you for coming.
God bless you, man. Thank you so much, man. Cal, and I'm gonna get with you, man. Got some construction work need done.
Yeah.
Commissioner Bedwell. Yes, sir. You're looking at that Mike Smith on there. That's my dude. Commissioner Bedwell.
So he is that guy. They don't realize how brilliant he is, how he thinks through everything, and he is so funny that you know. And I don't know which community he lives in. Like I said, so because his mama was a doctor, or was I don't listen. I don't pay attention. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, and he lived in 23 different countries.
So
We
his
had to
daddy
look
was
at
an
that.
Army Ranger.
Army Ranger.
And that's what's so. And let's talk about this. You know, whenever I ran the former commissioner out of Pete, he allied with the former, I think, laser service director. I don't know his old name, just to be honest, Charles Metzer, somebody else. And they met with Kyle Scott first. They were going to back him, anybody but me, since I beat him, and I didn't ask him for help. And then then they met with David Haight, and they backed Haight. Well, David Haight didn't beat Kyle Scott. So Kyle Scott had 277 votes he drummed up just from talking to people. That was it, just connecting with them. David had 355, so 250 was that circle of friends. Don Clements, a former.
Exactly, because people didn't even know who David Haight was.
No, and
at all.
He come a long way, I think. But I think, you know, and I get a lot of hate for it and everything. But man, my thing is, and that's what I tell people, and they say, well, why you help him to find his phone? You can be generally nice, and you can bring anybody up. You can work with anybody. It is their choice what they do in life. That is not mine. You know what I mean? And but I think if people are generally disinvested and think about our community this much, why don't we at least listen to them? Because you want to be honest, that's the reason the real-time crime center is happening now instead of a year, because he kept fussing and people listen. Sometimes you got to fuss to get people to listen, you know. Or we could just come over here and listen to start with and save you from fussing. It's a lot easier.
Well, that's what John Merrill did. Me and Representative Paul Lee talked about that yesterday.
I want to say I was proud Paul Lee come on your show yesterday.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, it is, that
Me
is,
and them been
that
friends
is
a long time.
That is a sign of, because people, that, you know, some people may not like him just because what party you in or whatever else, and it is, I'll say it, it is a risk coming on this show. You know what I mean? It is a risk. And nothing wrong with that. It's just, there's a risk in everything you do in politics. If you ain't ever ran, man, I lost people votes because I'm in my own head wondering what that brilliant guy coming up thinking about me. And David, you know, David Haight's the best walker in this world, and you got a social media genius. You know, and you know what they're grown up, and I lose votes because I didn't wave at people. They're like, my family got 27 people. We just thought you was rude. I said, Lord, no, I'm just getting beat to hell over here.
You know, and we catch it too.
And I'm one guy, which I asked for it, so I can't say that.
As preachers and public figures, man, we catch it too. And I have people say all the time, "Oh, Glasgow, he's not a public figure." You know, well, ask Atlanta, ask New York, ask the feds, ask anybody, ask the media. You know, and they say it totally different. So we catch it too, but people don't understand that you have to constantly be watching everything that's going on. And if you don't stay 2 or 3 steps ahead, you're going to fall 4 or 5 steps behind.
I swear I can shave a woman's dog, and if I don't wave at her, she's on my competitor's side. You know what I mean? I can walk her dog every day. You know,
I'm trying to tell you.
And it's a hard thing, and I think we just...
But we're making progress. We're making progress. I talked to a couple of legislators yesterday. They're very proud of what we're doing here in Dothan. We got a meeting going on the parole board with criminal justice work. We're looking at some companies. Some companies are definitely looking at eyeballing Dothan. A couple of foundations. I'm going to talk to y'all in the city council about some collaborative efforts with other organizations, not mine. You know, mine is KSG Ministries and the New National Christian Leadership Movement. I have, completely, I'm the advisor, but that's merely it, with the Ordinary People Society with TOPS. You know, my wife and all of them run TOPS. So I have nothing to do with, man, they running that thing. She can do a good job. She is so anal. Oh my God. She's too anal for me. I couldn't work for her. I couldn't work with
She
her.
is very
I had to go.
passionate about what she. I think what I'm good at is I can really. It don't matter if you're trying to show that side in me or not. I can see what people are about. I can really just. I'm so introverted. I'm so weird in a lot of ways. I got to study people from the outside in before I talk to them.
Very good service.
And but like everybody doesn't. And we get real for a second before we end. I think that's always good. Nobody knows what Glasgow really wants, and I don't think they'll understand it, but I kind of figured it out. I don't think a lot of people know it. You know the main thing you want in this world?
What's that?
Acceptance.
One of the things, I think when my book come out, wow, you hit me with that one. You really did. I think when my book come out,
It's
people will be
beautiful
able,
though. But it's beautiful though.
yeah, I
That's
think
what you're
people
fighting for
understand it
every
a little
day.
bit more. People understand. It's wow. It's
Was
funny
it-
you say that.
was
We
it
had
alright?
yeah, very much so.
It ain't about nothing.
We had a real good talk yesterday here with everybody here, and we were talking about an iris. We were talking about how people carry their childhood into their adulthood.
Oh man, when you talking about that last week, I saw something.
Remember me and you
and
talked about
it
that?
triggered me.
And we talked about, had a good talk about that yesterday. And people don't realize how they carry the weight of their childhood into their adulthood. And acceptance is one of the things that I carry. And I had to understand that's something I carry. I had to accept myself with these little things being born like this. And I was concerned about others accepting. I had to accept myself being born in my family where I was, and then my brother accepted. I had to accept myself and being a Sharpton or being a Glasgow. All these kind of different innuendos and issues come up, and people don't understand it. So that's why I'm so prone to and so adamant about people that are being that are disparaged or being taken advantage of people taking from them or co-opting them or commoditizing them or looking over them or not accepting them. That's why that's what drives me more than anything, is that I know what I went through with acceptance. And I want other people to accept
That's
other
not
people.
your only layer though. That's what,
No, that's
you're
not my
a
only
very
layer.
interesting guy. You're like
Yeah.
me. Now, I'm incapable of doing the wrong thing. If it's like yesterday, I'm sorry. You might as well not even talk to me no more. I'm going to do the right thing, you know what I mean? But I think one, and when I knew one of the best, I think activists in the whole town, really saying, I think in the world, and I think one thing, activists, some people say, actually, just racist. No, they are not. They're the least racist people in this world. People ain't racist against them. That is, and
That's very
deep.
true.
That is, like I said, you just don't want to accept them from the black community. You want it from the white community, and you want, because you understand that.
And I want them to accept each other.
That's it.
That's all. Just accept each other. Live life on life's terms as you live it, and accept other people living it on their terms. That's it.
Everybody in their past, you can't find one person that's done something there. And Lord, I can't control what anybody else in the future. Everybody in the past is trying to work over something they did in the past. Let's just be honest, including me. Lord, I eat too much, whatever else. I ain't getting into everything else.
Yeah.
But and we're all working toward it, and we all relapse, and we all fall short of the glory of God, I think, in a lot of ways. But I think legacy is a big thing. My mother, she died last week, and everybody's talking about how brilliant she was, and Lord, she wasn't easy going.
She taught school for what?
37 years.
37 years.
And the only thing she kept in her whole house was a civil rights lecture. That was it. That's the only thing she kept her whole thing. It was important to her. I think but her biggest legacy was there's a man named Mr. Bauer. They still friends to this day. He was a janitor in school. And she's like me. She would find somebody with potential. She could spot it. And she taught that man to go and get his college degree. And then he went and become a principal after that. And she taught him, and every teacher that come by there said, your mother took time to teach you how to do something, you were the best teacher in the world. And now she wasn't no easy one. That mountain, That woman, you give her $1 million, she complain about the taxes. Good gosh, she can guilt trip better than anybody I say in this world. I didn't know it was going to affect me that much when my mother died, because, you know, I was...
That's your mother, though. I mean, you got to realize you only get one.
Yeah, that was the problem. I had a brother on drugs. One of them letters, he said, I'm sorry, I had 37 years of bad luck. He used a lot of words. And just awful letters when he was doing bad. And he went, and the only thing she kept of his was all his foundry and like the rehab certificate, like they was college diplomas.
Yeah.
I got a Bible for you that says, 2012 from prison to success. Well, he didn't make it then. He come back in 2019. It's a cycle every time. Everybody does it. And people don't understand, the people that are in jail and come out, what kind of fight they're trying to be a good person. And then they go to a job where you're a felon. I'm sorry. You got so much. And they want that acceptance. That's one thing he fought for his whole life, was just the acceptance. I remember one time he got a job cleaning freaking wheels. He wasn't dangerous by any means. Now, he was fun. Lord, he may end up in Mexico, or I may have to go get him from the crack dealer on daggum Christmas. Be a lot of fun. But he wasn't harmless. He was cleaning wheels for one day. He was so happy to have a job. And the guy told him that evening and said, somebody seen you here, I can't have you working here. How in the world are you supposed to do anything?
Yeah.
We got to give some people a chance, all I'm saying. That is it. And I think that's really mean you connect so much, in a lot of ways. And I'll tell you this, I ain't got to go into that. But like I said, anybody that lets me hang out with them for 2 days with the most spyglasses you've ever seen and ain't worried about me having them things on his head, they ain't up to a damn thing. That's just it. That is just it. Like, you can't tell me the FBI can't hack them things. And, you know what I mean? I'm just going to be honest.
We got to call his name, and he was like, he got them glasses. I'm like, yeah, I know he been having them last couple of days. He been with me 2 days.
It freaks him out.
Yeah.
Hey,
and I'm like,
it freaks him
okay,
out.
well, them glasses, the FBI, and I'm like, well, the fans watching me. I mean, the fans watching me anyway. I mean, what are you talking about?
Hey, I can be a character today. You let me come around you with them glasses. You know what I'm doing? I'm so awkward in the room. I'm actually just watching TV when I'm doing it because I'm so awkward. Once I have a relationship, I told you, I don't bother people. Like that man over there, Kyle Scott, will go talk to that man. He loves the community. He loves interacting with people. Give him a credit. There is some kind of block until somebody talks to me. I can't come talk to them personally. That's one thing I struggle with. No, and I want to, but my mother, I think she did it on purpose because, you got one child that takes more effort. One child did. Good thing Mama Tina only had one baby. That was good. Because you would have.
Mama said she couldn't have me.
No,
I wouldn't have lied.
No, but my brother was a handful, and I was automatic. I just took care of myself always. I had 3 jobs in high school, and so I always felt like I didn't get crap going on.
Were you the oldest brother?
No, I was the youngest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, youngest. She always took care of him. Like, she rode with my brother 2 years before he was in high school driving. Heck, I got the neighbor to train me, so I got a big complex about that. But, so then when my brother died in 22, the last 2 years before we left, we got close. I wouldn't even have missed my parents before then because they were a financial burden, just to be honest. My brother wrecked 41 vehicles totally, and they were mine. 10 grand a pop. You don't get nothing whenever you burn them dudes up, And I don't think that's what a lot of people, but I think that's all right. Took the last 2 years of her life got me attached to it, so I miss it. But man, that hit me harder than anything I ever did. So I didn't really understand when people lost parents. I didn't understand the importance of flowers at funerals. Man, I appreciated every single person that sent flowers and turned me into a softy. That changed me forever. And I think what it taught me, it really focused you that I just want to do a good job. That's it. I was, God humbles me all the time, but the billboard with a horse or whatever, that wasn't nothing. So if you win in politics, I've been beat the heck by 2 guys that didn't hold no punches. But when I win, I can't say I won. I can't even acknowledge it. You gotta leave your head down just like yesterday. You leave your head down, you start crying. You know what I mean? That is how you gotta act.
Right.
Well, what you can do in June, I put up 10 billboards with horses and pictures. So them guys that joined up against me, 3 old guys that thought they ran Dothan, so so they could see, so they had to look 2 months after I won my daggone victory poster. It didn't say I won because you can't win by acting that way. But them posters of me on my horse, that wasn't nothing to just let them old guys know, come after me, you better come to play, Jack, because I'm going to move. When you go this way, you know like
hard to hit a moving target. But you know you got to look at, you got God's blessing too, and I know it's God's.
God anoints
I'm
all
mother's prayers.
Figures. They forget sometimes.
It's Mama Tina's prayers and God's blessing that keep me going. You know, because I mean I just take a lot of punches and I just keep going, just deflect them and keep going.
And any of your listeners going through a struggle, I want to tell you something. You don't get overweight in a month. You ain't getting overweight in a month. You ain't causing these relationship problems in your life in a month. This is 2 or 3 years. You can fix your entire life in 1 year. But it ain't going to be in a month. You didn't get in this crap in a month. It takes a year. You know what I mean? So
I'm just now, you know, and that's good you said, I just talked to a couple of the funders, and I was talking to my wife, I was talking to my Patricia, and I said, man, you know what? I said, we in November. I said, I'm really, really figuring out and settling in. I'm back home. And my Patricia looking at me like, and I said, yeah. I said, guess what, my Patricia? She said, what? I said, you just really, really accepting the fact that I'm back in the house. She said, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. Because you've been running this house and talking and everything like I ain't even been here, like I was still going to prison. We really getting back there, and I wasn't going with the year and a half.
People don't understand.
I wasn't going with the year and a half, but it takes a year to throw you off.
People don't understand how, I think it's hard on the family sometimes in personal
Very much so. And I never knew how hard it was.
It is hard.
I didn't know how hard it was on my mother until I had to come home and watch my wife.
You feeling every emotion.
Feel it all.
Feeling every single emotion they're feeling. And it's even worse because you can't talk to them 24 hours a day. They worried about getting stabbed that day, trying to get them moved to a different precinct. You are waiting on every single word, which is, you know.
And you know, that's the way it used to be in the church. In the churches, it used to be to where we would pray for each other because we felt each other's pain. And somewhere along the line, we have lost that human connection.
You know, when my mama died, everybody said, I pray for you, I pray for you. I wonder how many people actually pray for me. I know there was some, but I think it's just a more in the expression. Back then, people wouldn't even tell you. They just start praying, you know what I mean? We need prayer right now.
That's right.
But I think Lizzie and I said, I think everybody has which way they can go in life. Mine too is all about legacy. Like my mama, she was built legacy. It didn't care if he was white, black, whatever else. She treated everybody the same. And I think legacy is the most important thing in this world. And I think people need to watch you. You can go either way. It ain't my choice. But I think you about to put your final act together. I think you got 15 years left on this earth. And I think it is time. I think you have learned everything. I think you have learned everything you need to. You done took every wrong road in the world. Kitty Glasgow. Every wrong road in the world. You know.
It's God. I ain't got no way.
Everybody wonder why I don't make mistakes in business. I done did every darn thing. You know what I mean? Experiences.
Nowhere else to go but God.
But I tell you, and if you are going through a struggle like you're doing, or like anybody else, everybody is struggling. No matter how rich you are. Man, these rich folks got crazier families than all of us, Jack. Just, I mean, absolutely nuts. But I think you got to look at the small victories. Like I was very pleased to see, our mayor on your Unity program, which I think was an outstanding event.
Yes.
Would you? And yes, and then Paul Lee coming on and showing. I think that is. You gotta look at where you was a month ago, Jack. You gotta look where you was 2 months ago.
That success was full, man.
And it's that Clay Dempsey is a daggone best organizer.
Oh my God, Clay Dempsey, let me tell you something. He made sure when the anxiety hit with my wife and all, Clay Dempsey said, I got it. Him and Hollis, Tom, those guys made sure we didn't want or even fret for anything. And I got to give them a salute, man. Salute to Clay Dempsey and his team. They did that thing. And Hollis, because we had to go back and forth with the NDA with HBO to show the film. Hollis went back and forth with them on the emails and everything. And it was
Clay
great.
is on point.
So it was
I don't
on point.
understand how he cares every morning, and I think it's just great. And I think, that's, you know, and that's a reason if you want to fix this community, I am with this. I think that sometimes you got to take some risk, and I'm very calculated on risk, but it ain't no need getting on your plate. I think it's a beautiful thing when a friendship starts or
Starts in the rough.
starts in the rough. I think it's a good
But it
thing.
came good.
But you know, sometimes, you know,
Clay Dempsey, don't say nothing. Look, I always say don't say nothing about winning the shot. That's my girl. Don't say nothing about winning the shot. She is straight up. But right now, don't say nothing about Clay.
Well,
Don't say nothing about Clay Dempsey.
Well, and
Clay have really showed me a man. Because it's a man when you can admit wrong or admit you don't know and keep going. And that's what I love. Right now we have a development of real men. See, that's what makes me and Paul Lee and, you know, I won't say the judge's name because people will start thinking other stuff. But anyway, some of us have a cemented relationship where we can be that raw and honest with each other and disagree, but we still friends.
well, and I'll say this, but like quick thing, Ricky's coach, you know, nobody ever asked me for crap.
That's
Not a daggone thing, but
Me and Ricky fight every other day.
But I think something.
Okay, we finna get off your show, sir.
Yes, sir. That's
Go
right.
ahead, sir.
Yeah, I think. But I think what you can do as a community and everybody positioned whichever road they want to go, that's their business. It ain't mine. But you know, sometimes you gotta stick your neck out. Somebody like, hey, look, man. I said, you say, Vasco, he may have his walls. I said, but once you get on the walls, that man do anything to work on that. It takes hard. It took me 5 times to get your wall down.
Don't tell him.
You know,
Don't
so
tell
we're gonna get off this
With
man
that
show.
note, we gone.
Hey, we love everybody. That's the point.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
My time is up.
I
God
know.
bless you. Dr. Kelly Charles Glasgow in this round. Commissioner Brandon Bedwell. Thank you, sir.
Sorry about taking your show over.